Hey guys, what's up? Monkey here. Today I'll be bringing you guys another episode of Photoshop for beginners. And today on this episode we'll be focusing on the feature in Photoshop called clipping mask. Now before I start, I know I sound really raspy because it's a little early in the morning, so do bear with me. But I would like to say that for clipping mask, what you see right here, it's pretty much as shown. It's the normal logo right here, nothing on it, applied with a bunch of layers on this logo. And if you see right here, if I was to untick these, you see that it comes back to normal. And that's because of the feature called clipping mask. So if I release the clipping mask, you see this is all that's there. And this looks really nasty and ugly. But I'll get into the tutorial and show you guys what we're going to do. So let me just close this off because you don't need this anymore. I'm going to make our own new composition. You know, it doesn't matter what it really is. It's 1980 by 7 or whatever. You know, it doesn't really matter what resolution is. Just make it a rectangle. Gonna unlock this just because what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna show you guys how to clipping mask two different types of logos. So first, let me also say, when you're clipping masking, for right now we are using a 2D logo for clipping mask. Okay, so it's a 2D logo for a group I made with my friend called Chalkboard Studios. Well, yeah, this is a 2D logo. So with 2D logos, there are special rules that apply to that dimension. So I will put this texture on, right? Pretty much what you do, bring it in here, and all you're gonna do is you're gonna get your texture and you're gonna put it on top of the layer. From there, you're gonna go onto the texture, right click clipping mask, and keep in mind that your layer is above, because if it was under, there would be no option to clipping mask. Like, it would clipping mask to the background, but it wouldn't clipping mask to the logo. So make sure it's on top, and you right click clipping mask, and boom, it's on top. Now this does not look really that good at all, and it just looks very bland. Now for 2D layers, you can't really do anything much with like color burn and all that stuff, because it's not a 3D layer, so it's gonna stay the same. So if you have a 2D logo and this is what you want to do, you have to double click onto your logo, and you'd have to customize it from there to make it look a little better. So we can do a stroke on there to give it some like width, you know, stroke like that. You can do Satan to kind of dark it down, make it a little darken, you know, change that to about overlay, bring it out a little more, make it look a little better. Gradient overlay if you want, but try not to mix too many of these together, because then it just becomes a cluster of effects and it doesn't look that great. But that's pretty much it for 2D logos. And keep in mind, you can do this with anything in After Effects in Photoshop. Like if I make a rectangle like this, when I fill it, say I make it, I don't know, blue. Yes, make it blue. Yeah, 1 second, it's clipping mask. Release clipping mask. If I make a rectangle blue, what I can do simply is get another rectangle, make another rectangle, make it, I don't know, another color, just make it this, and then if I click on the move tool, make it bigger or as big as this, put it onto here. I can do this, clipping mask, so right click clipping mask, it's on there as you see. And then I can just duplicate this layer, Control J, duplicate it, move it over here, change the color to, I don't know, let's do a random one, first one I pick, yeah, clipping mask, and boom. Now we have two different ones, okay? And as you can see, it doesn't move out, you can't see it, okay? So that's just one example you can do. So let's move on to 3D clipping mask. So we're just going to delete this again. We're going to get the 3D layer from same folder. Where is it? Right here. Now for 3D is where you have a little more options for what you want to do. So I'm going to try to use a different one. Let's try this texture. So with every texture, same thing, make it big, and also try to get textures that are naturally bigger, because if they're small and you make them big, it might look a little grainy, but because it's a tutorial, it's not a big deal. So you see, it doesn't look that good on a 3D layer. So what you need to do is go over to the layer settings and make sure you are on the texture, and you're gonna have to kind of experiment depending on what kind of what the texture is really. So most people do overlay just from to do it, and that's just basic. Yeah, it looks better now, but it doesn't look that great. So for lighter textures, you want to try to go to darken, because you can see a little better, but that looks still kind of poopy. So there's different options like multiply. That's okay, that's a little better. If I made like a darker background, if I was to change this background to maybe, I don't know, a darker one, that could work. If I did that, that could look a little better, you know. So yeah, that looks good like that. But yeah, you can also do screen, and that doesn't look good on this. You can do linear burn, that looks a little more clean but not as great. Hard mix, there's all these things you can try, but it really depends on how light the texture is, how dark it is, if it's a 3D texture, all that. And even from there, what you can do, you can double click on the texture. If that's not good enough, you can make it a little darker if you want. You know, if I do Satan, then I put it to overlay or something, put it down or put it up, you know, I can customize it. You can do stroke, or you don't really need to do that though, because it's on a color overlay. You can even gradient it too. Sorry, that's not gradient, that's color overlay. You can gradient it to change the gradient to I don't know, let's say this. Yeah, sure. And then put it to overlay or screen. I think overlay looks better. Change the opacity, change it to radial or reflective or angle, whichever one. You're gonna have to experiment. She's changes to maybe that, and you just have to really experiment, you know. But that's pretty much it for putting the first one on. Now for clipping mask, you can put as many clipping masks on as you want, you know. You really can. Like I could get this texture, put this chalk texture on there, make it bigger. You can put it on top of this clipping mask. Boom. And now I'm gonna go to overlay or lighten, whichever one is better. And what I can do actually is put this under, and then I can change this to overlay. And then actually, if I click this off, one sec. Yeah, you can change it up to see which one looks better. This one looks better this way, so let's change this to one to overlay. Yeah, you can do that. Change the opacity down, and yeah, you could just do a bunch of layers, you know. If I was to do the original one, what I did for the original one, I just clipping masked it, changed it to darken, I believe, no, multiply. One here, got the other one, put this one on top, and create a clipping mask. Same thing again, lighted or overlay, apply. And there's many things you could do. You see this letter changes depending on, but pretty much all you have to do, like for clipping mask, all it's made for is just to merge one layer to another layer to another layer to another layer, to just make one, like let's say main layer have a lot more texture and a lot more diversity, and you can merge colors and all these things together. So clipping masking, it's a really easy thing. All you do is just right click, release clipping mask, or right click clipping mask, and boom, you have it on there. Just make sure you don't really go overkill with it, you know. Make the clipping mask merge together. It's literally like getting pastel with two different colors and merging the pastels together so you get one good color. That's all you're really doing with clipping mask. So this is something you'll probably use a lot when you're doing a lot of other type of designs. And this is used more for just texture. You can use clipping mask to, like, I don't know, let's see if you have a circle. If I make a circle, get the lips, do that. I can clipping mask a logo. If I was to get my 2D logo right here, I can just get this, put this on there. First, let me make this ellipse a fill. Let's do that, and then I can make clipping mask this, or before I even do that, I can make this bigger than the logo, hella bigger than the logo, like that. Clipping mask, and from there I can make, like, who knows, I can make like a cool, like, kind of pop out logo like that, you know. So yeah, clipping mask can be used for many things. So don't limit yourself to just using it as like text layers. Use it for many things. So that's pretty much it. In the next tutorials for or for the episode for Photoshop for beginners, I'm just gonna cover pretty much the basic things that these tools do, just so people watching can get a little more in tune with it. So when I do other tutorials like how to make a banner and stuff, you guys aren't completely lost and you understand. But that's pretty much it. Sorry for the long tutorials lately. I'm trying to be really in depth so you guys aren't lost. So especially if you're a really big beginner. So yeah, this has been Monkey. It's my tutorial on clipping mask. Like, comment, subscribe, put what you guys want me to do for another tutorial, and I'll take it into consideration and try to put it into my next video. So this has been Monkey, and I'll see you guys later. Have a great day. Bye.